Andrew Marvell's To His Coy Mistress is a remarkable metaphysical poem in which the speaker employs witty arguments to persuade his beloved to embrace their love before time runs out. Divided into three distinct sections, the poem follows a logical progression from a hypothetical ideal world to the harsh reality of life's brevity and ultimately, a call to seize the present moment. Each line contributes to the overarching theme of time's relentless passage and the necessity of living and loving passionately while there is still time. Let's go through a detailed line-by-line analysis of the poem. The poem opens with the speaker addressing his mistress directly, saying that if they had unlimited time and space, her coyness or reluctance to engage in a physical relationship would not be a problem. Her hesitation would be entirely acceptable if they were not constrained by the shortness of human life. The phrase, world enough, and time, highlights the hypothetical nature of this idealized scenario, setting the stage for the speaker's argument that time is, in fact, limited. The speaker continues by imagining that if they had infinite time, they could leisurely sit and contemplate how to spend their long love's day. This line evokes an image of peaceful deliberation and a timeless, carefree existence where they could indulge in their love without urgency or concern. The leisurely pace contrasts with the later sections of the poem, which emphasize the urgency created by the passage of time. Here, the speaker introduces exotic and hyperbolic imagery. He imagines his mistress sitting by the Indian Ganges, a river in a distant and exotic land, searching for rubies. In contrast, he would remain by the more mundane Humber River in England, waiting patiently for her. The speaker further exaggerates by stating that he would love her even 10 years before Noah's biblical flood and wait for her until the conversion of the Jews, which is traditionally considered to occur at the end of time. These extreme timeframes serve to emphasize the vastness of time in this hypothetical scenario, while also humorously highlighting the absurdity of waiting forever. The speaker likens his love to a vegetable, suggesting that it would grow slowly and steadily if given infinite time. The comparison to an empire underscores the potential vastness of their love, implying that it could expand indefinitely. The slow, organic growth contrasts with the later sense of urgency in the poem, reinforcing the idea that love, given enough time, could develop in a leisurely and boundless way. Continuing with hyperbole, the speaker elaborates on how much time he would spend admiring his mistress if time were limitless. He imagines dedicating 100 years to praising her eyes and gazing at her forehead, 200 years to adoring her breasts, and 30,000 years to the rest of her body. Finally, after all this time, he would dedicate the last age to appreciating her heart. This sequence of images cleverly blends physical and emotional love, with the heart being saved for last, indicating that emotional connection is the ultimate goal after physical admiration. The speaker flatters his mistress by telling her that she deserves such extensive praise and admiration, implying that her beauty and virtue warrant this level of devotion. He assures her that he would not offer his love on any lesser scale, reinforcing the extravagant nature of his imagined devotion. In this crucial transition, the poem's tone shifts from playful to serious. The speaker acknowledges that despite the idealized scenario he has painted, time is not infinite. He hears the approach of time's winged chariot, a powerful metaphor for the relentless passage of time. This image introduces the concept of mortality, as the speaker feels the pressure of time running out. The phrase, deserts of vast eternity, evokes a bleak, empty future, symbolizing death and the end of all earthly pleasures. It is a stark contrast to the rich, leisurely imagery of the previous lines. The speaker moves to a morbid image, suggesting that after death, her beauty will fade, and her virginity, which she has been preserving, will be consumed by worms in the grave. The marble vault refers to her tomb, where her body will lie, no longer able to enjoy the pleasures of love. This grotesque image of decay serves as a stark reminder that life is fleeting and that preserving her chastity will be meaningless in death. The speaker continues with his grim reminder of death, saying that her quaint honor, that is, her modesty or chastity will turn to dust in the grave, just as his lust will be reduced to ashes. He acknowledges that the grave may be fine and private, but there is no opportunity for love or intimacy in death. This line succinctly captures the idea that death renders both modesty and passion irrelevant, urging his mistress to act while they are still alive. The speaker shifts again, now urging his mistress to act while she is still young and beautiful. He compares her youthful glow to morning dew, a fleeting, fresh quality that will soon evaporate with the passage of time. The comparison reinforces the idea that her beauty is temporary and should be enjoyed before it fades. The speaker continues to describe her youth and passion, suggesting that her soul transpires through her body, manifesting in her physical beauty and desire. The phrase, instant fires, conveys a sense of immediate, passionate energy that should be acted upon before it is extinguished by time. Then the speaker calls for immediate action. He urges them to sport, enjoy love and life while they still can, comparing their passion to amorous birds of prey. This metaphor suggests a predatory, urgent intensity, where they should seize the moment and consume their time together, rather than letting time slowly consume them. The phrase, slow-chapped power, refers to time's slow but inevitable ability to destroy everything, reinforcing the need to live fully in the present. The final lines of the poem continue the speaker's call for action. He suggests that they should roll all our strength and all our sweetness into one intense experience, merging their passion and love. The imagery of tearing their pleasures through the iron gates of life conveys a sense of fierce determination to experience life fully, even in the face of time's limitations. The concluding lines acknowledge that they cannot stop time, but they can make the most of it by living passionately, making time run in their favor. Marvell masterfully balances playful wit, vivid imagery, and serious reflections on time and mortality. The speaker's argument progresses from an idealized fantasy of endless time, through a stark recognition of time's limitations, to a passionate plea for seizing the moment. Each line builds on the theme of carpe diem, urging the mistress to act before it is too late. The poem's clever use of metaphysical conceits and its meditation on love, time, and death make it one of the most enduring and thought-provoking works in the English literary canon. In To His Coy Mistress, Andrew Marvell's speaker attempts to convince his mistress to give in to his romantic and physical desires by emphasizing the fleeting nature of time. The poem begins with the speaker presenting an idealized and hypothetical world where they have all the time in the world. He claims that if time were infinite, her coyness and reluctance to engage in a physical relationship would not matter. He imagines leisurely courting her, allowing their love to grow slowly and steadily. The speaker uses hyperbolic and grandiose imagery, suggesting that they could spend centuries simply gazing into her eyes, admiring her beauty, and appreciating each part of her body. He humorously declares that he would spend hundreds of years praising her forehead, to centuries adoring her breasts, and 30,000 years devoted to the rest of her, showing his willingness to give her all the time she desires. However, the tone shifts in the second section, where the speaker brings a sense of urgency and reality to his argument. He introduces the concept of time running out, using the metaphor of time's winged chariot drawing near. He reminds her that life is short, and after death, beauty fades, and opportunities for love and pleasure vanish. The image of the deserts of vast eternity conveys a desolate future where all chances for earthly pleasures are lost. He paints a grim picture of what will happen to her body after death, suggesting that in the grave, worms will claim her long-preserved virginity, and her beauty will turn to dust. He warns that her coyness and the honor she is preserving will be of no value in death, where love and passion are no longer possible. The grave, though private, offers no place for love or intimacy. In the final section of the poem, the speaker shifts again to a carpe diem, seize the day argument, urging his mistress to act on their desires while they are still young and passionate. He compares the transient nature of her youthful beauty to morning dew, which will soon disappear. He argues that they should embrace their desires now, while her soul is still vibrant and full of passion, rather than allowing time to slowly diminish their ability to enjoy life. Using the metaphor of amorous birds of prey, the speaker encourages them to consume their time together passionately and intensely, rather than allowing it to slip away slowly. He suggests that it is better to devour time actively than to let it devour them passively. The poem concludes with the speaker's desire to make the most of their love and life while they can, before time and death take it away. Marvell's poem explores themes of love, time, mortality, and the conflict between physical desire and the passage of time. The speaker uses clever and persuasive rhetoric, blending both playful and serious tones, to argue that life is too short to waste on prolonged courtship. Through the use of vivid imagery, hyperbole, and metaphysical conceits, Marvell captures the urgency of living fully in the present and making the most of love before it is too late. So that was it for the summary of the poem. I hope you have understood the essence of this literary masterpiece. Please help me reach other students in need by subscribing to my channel. Do like the video and comment down your thoughts. Thank you.